Hi everyone, I'm Tesla, a 25-year-old in Texas on a single income. I'm documenting my financial journey and I finally have a chance to review April of 2022. My April income was $6,007.18. I actually got 3 checks in April, even though I'm a salary job and I always only get 2 checks per pay period. It's because my bank paid me 2 days early. And I think that messed up my budget because everything was okay when I had it all in April, like it actually happened. But when I moved the money from April 29th to May 1st, so May would have the right amount of checks, I suddenly got this negative for reassigning, and I'm really not sure how because as you can see, like everything zeroes out. Oh, hold on. Actually, it's in a hidden category. I guess I have to unhide all, or let me click show all hidden categories and see what happened there. Okay, so I'm not negative on investing. I don't think I'm negative on any of my savings, like $36.89. I am negative on a work expense because I had to put that on my card and they paid me back. But yeah, for $36.89, like I really don't know what is wrong with the budget. And I'm afraid to mess it up, so I think I'm just gonna leave it this way. I'm gonna rehide the categories that were already hidden. Anyway, there are a couple of reasons why my April income was higher is one, because I caught my tax refund. I invested $500 into my Roth IRA, and then I used the other $33 for one of my savings categories. My roommate is supposed to give me $800 a month for her half of the expenses, but you could see she's kind of been paying like different amounts sporadically, so that's why it was a little more this month because I think she was still behind from 2021. By the time I'm filming it in mid of May, like she's already caught up though, and she's actually ahead, so I hope it stays that way. I have this funny reconciliation balance because I looked and looked and looked, but my credit card was like 1 penny less than it should have been, and I couldn't figure out why. I really try not to do the reconciliation balance adjustment, but I had to let it go because it was 1 penny. Another thing was a gift from my grandma. My grandma gave me $200 for Easter. My grandma is living her best life. Ever since she retired, she's been cruising around the world with her rich boyfriend, and we never see her anymore. She is always on holiday, usually out of the country, and because she's often international, she's hard to reach. We can only reach her off WhatsApp and stuff, so I think she likes to make up for it around the holidays by giving us gifts, and I like that too, so another thing was I got some cash back, and getting cash back is like more fun than I thought it would be. I don't change my spending habits to max out cash back points. Like, I'm not going to buy groceries at Target just to get a little extra reward for buying from Target, but getting money back for what I already spend on is nice. And then I did a tiny gig where I reviewed and improved someone's resume. I used to do that a lot in college. I try to review my resume like every 6 months just to make sure I'm not forgetting any key skills or accomplishments I've gained. I've never asked for a raise before, but it's also helpful in that arena because when you have on paper how much you've grown and how much you've done, like it proves why you're an asset. So, this is just a gentle reminder that maybe it's time for you to review your resume and digital portfolios. This year, I was expecting to make around $5,000 a month, so I'm glad that it was extra in April. Every month, I try to review how much I saved, and not gonna lie, like this is the part that throws me off. So for April, it says that I saved $1,538.26, or 25.6% of my income. Normally, I try to save 14% of my income. So far, I've been higher than that, thankfully, but like that's the minimum I want to aim for. Now, if I count investing as a part of savings, because like that's putting money away for my future self, then I will hide these categories so that way it thinks it's all savings. Then it says that I quote unquote saved $4,118.46, or 68.6%. Because at the end of the month, I review what I invested in, or basically how much I invested. I don't count investments towards savings, even though like it technically could be. But I wish there was a bird's eye view to keep track of my progress per my savings goals that I have in my budget. If I go to my budget and I click on all my savings categories, I can see that I assigned $2,168.93 towards savings. But that doesn't match the 1,538 number we just looked at. If I go to the income breakdown toolkit report and I show it just for April, then that does match the number I got for income versus expense, but not the number that I saw in my budget. I was actually so confused that I bought a spreadsheet from Etsy. I'll have it linked down below in case you want it as well. But it also kind of does the same thing YNAB does. It tracks your goal, when it's starting, how much you had. Actually, I don't think YNAB tracks your starting balance in terms of goals because it just goes from ready to assign straight into the goal. But anyway, it tracks your suggested contribution and how much you've put in for the year minus the starting balance, which was really helpful for me because like YNAB counts it all as current year savings and it's not really. It pulls all the same data from YNAB, but it just presents it in a different way. So for example, it shows me all my goals all together, but I can see how close I am to each of my goals all in one place. And it'll also give me how much I contributed and withdrew within a month. But that just tells me the overall total and like not how much I did per goal. If I want to look at a certain goal, like for example, Chip had a vet appointment in April that I'll talk about later. But you can see like per month how much you contributed and how much you took out. But if I go to April and I subtract $653.75 from this $2,443.48 contribution, like I still don't get a number that matches YNAB's budget numbers. Like I just don't know. I don't know what I'm missing or misunderstanding. I guess the point is like, yeah, I did reach my savings goal because like my usual goal is $620 per month, and I'm like, no matter which way you slice it, no matter what chart you look at, like I am over that, but I I just don't really know what to make of it at the moment still. And also, I still don't know why I'm negative. Like, so confused. Luckily, investing is very straightforward. In April, I invested $2,009. I bought a super small amount of Coca-Cola, like $9. For my after-tax brokerages, I had $100 and I split that evenly between VGT, VTI, VYM, and HDV. Although shortly after that, I decided not to invest more into my after-tax brokerages until I have hit my Roth IRA limit. Pre-tax 401k always gets $200 per check, so that's $400 a month pre-tax, but I track it here anyway. And though normally I'm putting $900 a month into my Roth IRA, this month I was able to put $1,500 because I used my grandma's Easter gift, which was $200, and then I put $500 of my tax refund there. I should have put that tax refund into the Roth IRA 2021, but I just wanted to let go of that and just go straight for 2022. If you're curious what's in my Roth IRA, it's a mutual fund, target date fund, TRRMX, because that's what my mom chose for me like years ago, and I've been thinking about switching it. But I'm just a little nervous that my own selections wouldn't outperform the other fund. So it's just something I'm thinking about for now, but if I make any changes to it, I'll make a video about that in the future. Now we can look at my regular spending, and for that I don't count investing. The hidden category here is a work expense that I got reimbursed for the next month. But because it's like not really for me and because it's going to even itself out, I usually don't like to look at it as my own spending. But of course it did go on my card, so I guess I should count it. I usually try to spend $2,900 or less every single month. So I am under that even with this big work expense. If I were to cut that out, then I would be well below that goal. If I go into basic expenses, for personal care, I got some feminine products, although now Honey Pot is like apparently a controversial topic at the moment. For home care, I had made my last payment installment for a TV I got back in last November. I also had to buy some towels because all mine went missing. I had the same set of 4 towels ever since the beginning of 2016, and then this year they just like all disappeared. And then I also got a bunch of paper towels. For pet care, I knew that Chip had a vet appointment. I was expecting it to be about $300, but it was basically $400, and then I got him a lot of dog food. Unfortunately, I got him 18 pounds of dog food, and I don't think he really likes it. Bills were so cheap because my mortgage had not kicked in. I paid for Energy Ogre, which is a service that helps you find the cheapest electricity plan. It's a subscription where they'll like fight your bills for you and stuff, but I don't really need that. I just needed the initial service, so now it's canceled. It's crazy to think how affordable life is when you don't have to pay a mortgage or a rent payment. Like if you have the opportunity to live for free with someone else, I recommend that. I spent a lot on transportation because I went out of town. I paid for some parking at the art car parade. And then I went to the Ty Verdes concert, and by the way, he's amazing. I did the VIP experience, and we got to talk to him and listen to him sing a few songs a cappella, and he just had like a really fun energy on stage. I had never Googled him before, I'd never seen a music video or anything, I wasn't sure what to expect. That man is 7 feet tall with his hair, like, and I'm 5 feet tall, so when I took a picture with him, I wasn't even sure I was gonna make it into the frame, but it was really cool. But I had to pay for parking. And then, gas. We all know it's just crazy right now. So for groceries, so far in this year, I spend an average of $180 a month, and I'm right up against that because I started an every plate subscription. I like them so far. They're simpler than HelloFresh, but honestly, that's kind of nice because I'm real lazy. And then the last day in April, I went to something called Puppies for Breakfast, which is like a dog festival in Houston with local vendors, lots of dogs, contests, so I bought some local pickles because I love pickles. Now going into lifestyle expenses, I have some stories this month. So for April, what I decided to do is go back through all of my months and separate dining out and giving. So any food that I spent on myself would be dining out, and then any food I spent on other people would be giving. I spent $270.83. I would eventually like to get to $250, but honestly, I'm not pushing myself very hard on that at all. I went to Houston's Art Car Parade and I tried some local vendors there. I went to a friend's birthday party and spent a good amount of money there on expensive dinner and drinks. I went out of town to see a friend's theater show, and so I treated them to food and a meal as well. And then I got some food at the Puppies for Breakfast event, but they ended up refunding me because they took over an hour and a half to get us our food. And I think I was number 128, and they were serving people up to 200. Like everyone was getting served ahead of us, and I guess they felt bad, and I wasn't expecting a refund, but that was really nice of them. At the Puppies for Breakfast, they had small dog racing contests, which my Chip competed in, and he won twice, actually. On his third heat, he did lose, and I actually had to miss his third race because I was waiting so long for this restaurant. They also had the smallest dog in Houston contest. They had a dog costume contest. Not so fun fact, Chip peed on me twice when I was there. I guess because he didn't like that other dogs were sniffing on me and stuff, so he peed on me twice because I guess he was marking his territory. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe I was walking around the whole day with dog pee on me. It was unbelievable. But anyway, if I look back, there is plenty of junk food, but these were tacos I got at the parade. This was the bar and restaurant we went to for a birthday. There are plenty of things here that are linked with experiences and other people and memories. So I guess it is getting better because even though I'm not spending less, I'm being more intentional slightly that it's not just all crap food by myself. Okay, appearance is where I lost it a little bit. Now, $180 does not look too insane, but that's only because I got a refund from a dormie. I got a refund from some slippers I bought. And then I had a pearl necklace that my grandma gave me and I lost it, but they paid me out. So some things I did buy, I got my face threaded, which is kind of a normal thing for me. I kind of have to do that once a month, if not once every other month. I had to buy something called grip socks because I did a Pilates demo and apparently those are required. I needed some blue light glasses from Amazon and I bought several pairs. I think it was 5 for $12. I work on the computer all day and I was tired of never being able to find the pair I already had. And if you're curious if they work or if they help, they really do. My eyes feel way less tired when I use them. I spent $60 on a sweatshirt from the concert I went to. Even though I got a VIP ticket, it didn't come with any merch clothing. And I wasn't going to get anything, but the venue was freezing. And even with the huge crowd all around you, I was in the very front row, because it was a pit. I think they make it so cold, so you have to buy the sweaters. And luckily, it's comfortable and it's black, so I can get a lot of use from it, but it was expensive. The real nail in the coffin is when I spent over $200 in lingerie from Savage X Fenty. That weekend, my roommate asked if her friend and his German Shepherd could live at my place because he was getting kicked out of his place and apparently he and his roommates were getting evicted. Supposedly, he was always paying his rent, but his roommates weren't, and for months. And despite knowing that, he only gave me a 24 hours heads up to see if he could live with me. It's the same person who said he would reimburse me for the dog his damage did and then never did. I think my roommate was expecting that they would just split the cost of her room and then he would live here for free basically, and they'd each pay $400. To me, their living arrangements are completely separate anyway, and then in such a short time frame to like draw up paperwork because I have to cover my ass, like it was a lot of stress and decisions in such a short amount of time. And mind you, this is all before I am supposed to leave town for the weekend. So I was laying down the rules and the costs that he couldn't have his dog there because it's already been destructive and it was too big for my property. No drinking on the property, no smoking on the property because he is a tobacco smoker. And basically, we came to the conclusion that it just wasn't going to work out. And that's, totally fine. But then I got home from work that day and he was there and his dog was just running around my living room like unattended. And then as soon as he heard me come in the door, he came down with a box of his and he just left as soon as he saw me. And he's like a friendly, normal guy, I guess, but that was kind of weird behavior to me. Like I was already kind of stressed, like dealing with all of that. Then the next morning, I see that my car was broken into. The person did not take anything because I don't keep anything valuable in my car, but they tossed everything around. They made a mess. And I live in Houston and I have experienced a lot of crime here, so I wasn't even going to bother reporting it. Like, I was just going about my day, running my errands. That was the day Chip had a vet appointment, so I wasn't going to let it bother me. And then afterwards, I went to clean my car and I saw a social security card. And I thought, what an idiot. Like, he left his identification behind. I'm going to get his ass. But then I saw several social security cards, credit cards, debit cards, all belonging to different women. So this person was obviously an identity thief who targeted women on top of being a car thief. And not only did he break into my car, he ditched all his evidence in my car. So I'm supposed to leave that afternoon, and it's like kind of close to that time. But because there's identity fraud now, I have to go to the police station. And it was really stressful because I had my mail in my car, and your mail has your name, your address, sensitive information, right? But of course, the police didn't care, and they said they weren't really going to do anything. So I did everything I could, and at that point, I was leaving town because there just wasn't anything left for me to do. So I get to my friend's house, and I check my Ring security app, and then I see he has come back with his dog. So, now there's this guy who seems to be a good enough person, I don't really know, but nevertheless, a now homeless man who said he was leaving my house is now back in my house with no explanation because he and my roommate must know that I'm not home. So I didn't know what to think, and like stress is a spending trigger for me, and it's always been a habit for me since high school that whenever I feel stressed, sad, or insecure, I go to Victoria's Secret or a store like that and I try pretty things on. And I really don't know why I'm drawn to clothes like that or even where that started. Like I could have used that money on jeans or work clothes or things I actually need, but I don't know, it's always it's always lingerie that I think is going to make me feel put together or in charge, or honestly, I don't know. It's May now, and I've already been refunded like $90 of that because obviously I wasn't going to keep all of it. Luckily, I was able to stop myself. I almost went down a Rihanna rabbit hole and I almost bought some of her makeup, but I stopped myself. For what it's worth, though, like her line does have some really nice items. And I was so impressed actually. I started a subscription with her, and now every single month I'm gonna have to remember to cancel her subscription, kind of like Fabletics. But anyway, that is enough of that story. Fun money is, of course, the concert ticket. And then I got a ticket to see the immersive Van Gogh exhibit in May. I've now seen it. It's nice, but I don't know if I'd pay that much money again. And then having Chip race, that costs $5 per dog. Even if he had lost in the first round, I think he had a lot of fun. People were cheering for him. Giving is a mix of supporting my community and then paying for like friends and family and stuff. Subscriptions would be mostly as usual. I manage my work social media and I've been paying for my own Canva Pro because it's so much quicker than like Photoshop. But they have started to pay for it, so I can take that off of my financial plate. I accidentally paid for carbon offsets twice last month because I canceled TerraPass and I started Native like the same day, but obviously they charged me the same day instead of the next month, so I don't know why I didn't think about that. It's okay though because $75.90 is the least I can do considering the amount of single-use plastics I can use and all the meat I eat and stuff like that. On to net worth. By the end of April, my net worth was negative $22,305.59. So that is a $1,932.74 increase from March. But that number also does not match my savings numbers. So again, still confused. Now, if I go to a different spreadsheet, I recently started tracking my home value, and I'm not keeping up with Zillow or anything like that. I just keep it at the steady price that I bought it for, although now it's probably worth like 160. And when I do that, it's really scary to see like just how much of my net worth is tied up in a house. This net worth is from April 1st instead of April 30th, so it's not going to match, but I can see that aside from my house, most of my assets are in cash. And then out of my investments, it's my Roth IRA and my old 403b up next, which is good because those are tax advantaged accounts. I look forward to building up my 401k so that can be a top contender as well. I am extra excited for the day when my total invested can be more than my total cash, but I will be patient. These asset shares, I don't think are actually accurate. If you have any questions about my financial life, let me know. I hope your April went well, and I hope you were able to use your money for something fun that you enjoyed. Money is a tool just like anything else, so I hope you can find the time to use it to make your life better in the present moment. My first May Budget with Me video is already out. Actually, my first 2 May Budget with Me videos because I'm really behind on this. So I will talk to y'all later. Bye.